Hi, I'm Scott Willison, owner of the Confluence Fly Shop in Bellingham, Washington. It's October here, and we've got a lot of coho hitting our rivers, both in northwestern Washington and British Columbia. Today I'm going to tie kind of a newer pattern I've been tying. Combines two of my favorite coho flies, the traditional flash fly and an egg-sucking leech. This is a real flashy, sparkly pattern that does great for coho salmon. Also works quite well for chum salmon a little later in the year too. This one is called the Diamond Dog. So we are starting out with a size 2 Gamakatsu L11S 3H in the vise. I have already pinched the barb, and I'm going to be using 140 Denier purple ultra thread. We're going to start a little thread base at this point just up around the eye, and then we're going to affix our eyes. I've got a size large nickel plated lead eye. This is going to give this thing a nice vertical jigging action in the water. And I'm just kind of figure 8 wrapping those eyes into place. We'll go around the base a couple of times. Really secure those. And these large eyes sometimes like to spin, so we're going to go the extra mile and just add a little bit of brush on zap gap there to keep those from spinning on us. We're good. Now we'll go ahead and take our thread to the bend, and then for the body I'm going to use a UV red puller chenille. This stuff really pops in the water. We'll just tie that in by the tip. And then we're going to wrap that up, not quite to the eyes. Now we're going to go ahead and do our egg head first here. And for the egg head, I'm going to use a pearl and fluorescent red speckled chenille. This is a chenille with some sparkles in it. This is basically kind of a fuchsia or hot pink. We'll strip a little bit away from the core there just to give us a clean tie-in point. And then I'm going to go under the eyes, over them in one direction twice, back around behind them, and then over the other direction. And then we'll tie that down. And I'm just going to build up a little bit of thread back here, give myself kind of a smooth base for tying in the other materials. we'll go ahead and invert the hook, and then we're going to tie our flash in. So I'm going to use a liberal amount of, this is just silver Flashabou. This is Flashabou number 6901. And then we'll center tie that, and then we're going to fold the rest over. And then I'm going to go with my top color, and for that I'm going to use Flashabou 6919. This is the grape color. It's got some blue and purple, kind of a lavender color in there. I really like these mixed Flashabous. I'll also tie this in kind of a green and silver, green and copper, copper and blue. You can really have fun experimenting with this one. And then we'll tie this in the same way. Center tie that, get a couple of good locking wraps in, and then we're going to fold it all back. Then we'll go ahead and trim this up a little bit here. So I like to kind of trim at an angle underneath. I'll trim some of that stuff on the sides. I'm trying to give it a little bit of taper as I go. We'll do an angle on the top. All told, that's going to end up being about 3 times the length of the shank. And if this stuff is getting in the way, or you've got a lot of static electricity, don't be afraid to take a little bit of water and just smooth it back, get it out of the way. Our next material, we're going to add a collar. I'm using a 3-inch EP Foxy brush. This is Arctic Fox in a wire brush. It's got a little bit of flash built into it as well. These things are great. We'll get that tied in, and then I'm going to try to get about 4 wraps of this. As I'm wrapping, I'm going to sweep those fibers back. I used to tie this fly without the brush, and what I found was a lot of times that Flashabou will loop up and get kind of tangled around the leader when the fly lands. And this is going to help really keep it back out of the way. There's 3 wraps. We'll get our 4th full wrap in here. Got that brush tied into place, and I'm going to grab a pair of scissors that I'm not super attached to, and we'll cut that wire core. You could also bend the wire several times to get it to break, but it sometimes takes a little while. And then we'll just free up any trapped fibers here. make sure that collar really blends with the fly. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. Lastly, I'm going to use a little bit of purple Schlappen here to finish off this collar. I'm just going to strip away some of the fluffy stuff I don't need, give myself a good long handle on this fly. And then I've trimmed just a little bit at the tip there, so I've got a nice small tie-in point. And then just like we did with the Arctic Fox, we're going to wrap this and sweep those fibers back as we go. And it looks like I'm getting about 2 wraps of that, which is plenty. On these egg-sucking type flies, I'm really a fan of finishing the fly behind the egg head. It's nice and clean. And they tend to last longer that way too. So our last little trick here is we'll go ahead and brush a portion of our thread with some brush on zap. Wrap that up. 2, 3, 4. Got a 4-turn whip finish. And cut that thread. And there you have it, the Diamond Dog. Now those lead eyes are going to make the fly flip and swim upside down, so this wing will end up being on top. This has all the ingredients you want in a good coho fly. It's got plenty of movement, a lot of flash, and this is a proven fish catcher. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and have a wonderful day.